Hello guys, in this tutorial, in our last tutorial, we style our normal homepage for Pixel Web, like for a beginner or something like that. So, but in this tutorial, I think we're going to focus on the styling of the form page. So this is the form I just created. You can style it as a beginner. So I'm going to go through in this video. I'm going to go through everything I did and how I achieved this. So mostly the thing that will take time in the video is styling the HTML, writing the HTML code and stuff. But the CSS didn't take me long, or didn't take me much time though. So code along or just watch and listen and help get the grasp of and learn more CSS. Okay, let's get started. Okay, this is our home page for that. So if we click the set up your order, it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so let's style our order form page. So this is our plain order form, and I want to show you guys the image I'm going to be using. I actually had a long name for this image. You can see the image for the background I used that you guys saw earlier, and this is it. So you can download any image that you can use for the tutorial as well. So let's go. The next thing I'm going to do now is let me open this in live server so you can be seeing as we code up the HTML structure like that. So let's start. I'll give this. Sorry, I need to. Yeah. So I'll just close. Okay, I'll just close this, or let me just leave it open, and exclamation, then enter. It gives you this. So I'll just put the title as, make it Charles GPT or the form or something. Yeah, ChatGPT order form. So the body, let's link the CSS. I'll just keep the same style since I will not need like much CSS on this. I'll just keep the same link into this and make it just style.css. Okay. So just we are going to still use the same CSS we used for our main page. I just hope this video doesn't take that long. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is firstly we'll work with a div, then we'll put our form in the div so we can move the div around or something. So I'm going to also be working with field sets and stuff like that. So firstly I'll just write div tab, enter, then I'll put the form inside the div tab. Should I give any action? No actions. I think I'll just keep it that way. But you can use post or get, but let me just put post initially. But since I'm not doing teaching any backend for now, in the backend, so it won't do anything. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'll just give the div a class so we can style it. The class of the div, take note, would be order form. Let me just name it order form or something. What's like this order form? Let me just name it order form. Okay, it's cool. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, inside the form, I will create another div for the form as well, for inside the form. So I'll give the div and I'll name it class and form. Let me say class, sorry, I need spaces here, class tab in form. This inside the div. Okay, so then what else will I do? I will now put all my elements inside the div that is inside the form or something. This is just for styling. That is why I'm using many divs. In my last tutorial, I told you guys that divs are like boxes or something. So I like working with divs so I can, style up my web page more efficiently. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to be working with field sets, what they're calling like field sets and legends. You see what it does. So I'll just click field sets tab. Then inside our field sets, we'll have like different field sets. Then inside our field set, we'll have like a legend and legend, yeah, tab. Okay. So we'll give the legend a class. I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm saying, like this thing, but we'll still space things out though. So we'll give the legend a class and we'll name it sets. Okay. So this would be, it should be, let's put something like this so you guys understand what the legend does. Contact information. Okay, contact information. You see where it's at, this legend adds this in this field set. I don't know if you can see this as well. Okay, so the next thing we are going to be doing now is I will just be adding breaks. BR. I don't know if you guys don't know what is break, but BR break. Okay, so it gives spaces, and we can add new elements and stuff like that. So the first input we're going to be carrying is and again, when I'm doing my form, I like using div in every content I'm going to be doing. Div break, div break, div break. So you see that much most of the time in my forms. So that's it we need for the legend though. So the next thing I'm going to do after the break, I'll give a div. Then inside the div, I won't be giving the divs class this time, it's just for like space and stuff. Then outside the div, no, not now, let me not just put the break now. So div, inside the div, I'll put like a label to it. Okay, I'll still explain for you guys what this for is for, like this FOR that is here for. It's for. So firstly, let's collect the user's name. Okay, so there's the name. So what's the input type? You can see some people using like P for this. Maybe the writing with P, but I like using the tag, the element label for it. So P would be, sorry, not P, I mean to say inputs. What kind of inputs should we use? Okay, the type would be text. Okay, thanks, Caplot, or anything that's helping the editor for this. Visual Studio for helping me. So it's text. So it's going to be kind of like a text. So you can see this like this. So I don't like putting my form like this. So I'll just give a little bit of break. So it goes down tab. You can see it went down a little bit because form is an inline element. So yeah. So that's it. So I need break for it. So then this for works with ID. Okay, what it's for? Okay, let me just give the size first. No, let me give the ID first. So I'll give ID tab. I'll not put anything initially. So if you want to collect the user's input, let's say if you click on the name, it does nothing. You see, but what I need it to do is when you click on the name, it sends you to the form. Let me show you what it does, how it does that. So if I give the for name and give the ID name, now you'll see what happens. So if I click on the name, it sends me to the form so I can write my name. In case, just it's just good practice. So that's how it works. So you can also still like do other stuff like putting your name like this, or that's what the for and ID is for. So you see me using most of these for in the label and ID in the input as well. So and cool. So let me increase the size. The size should be, I'll make it 50 or something. 50, yeah, cool. The size is cool. So next thing I'm going to give now is I'll give, since form is an inline element, I will be giving much break. So I'll give break again right here outside the field set. So all these things are the first field set for the contact that we're using to collect the contact information. So any code I'm writing will be inside this field set. But I'm going to still be creating more field sets though. So this one is for the contact information. So the next one I'm going to collect is the email. So I'll give a div container tab, and inside the div, I won't give it any class. Label, I'll give the label for, I'll make the for email so I can make the ID email as well. So the message should be email, and I'll give the semicolon right there. Then I'll add break so it can give like a break between the two text. Then the input type would be not text this time, but Visual Studio. So thanks for the editing or something. We'll make the input type email. Yeah, so it collects only email. And then I'll add an ID so you can just, like look, if I click this email, it does nothing. You say just copy, just be like doing random stuff. But if I add the ID, let me add the ID, I'll make the ID email. The same thing with the for. So if I click the email, it sends me to the email. You understand? So make sure you get the exact type. This type is for, let's say, because it's email, you can't just input a name and send. I'll still show you when I click the submit button. So make sure the type is correct. So the input type is an email. So the next thing I'm going to do, let me just increase the size. So we'll make it organized. Size would be 50. Okay. So the next thing we're going to be doing is I don't think there's any other thing we can collect from the user. Okay, let's collect the phone number or something. Then I'll give like a break right there again as well. Good practice. So next thing I'll do div tab. So inside the div again, I just like using divs for making it more large and visible stuff. Label. Then I'll do, since we're collecting the phone number, I'll put phone here and then ask the user for the phone number. And I'll do phone number. Phone number. Then I'll break so it enters a new line, break. Then the next thing I'm going to do is the input type. The input type would be tel is for telephone, like phone. So it collects actual phone number. So I'll make the ID phone as well, so you understand. I sent the point across already, so you understand why I'm doing the ID as phone as well. So the next thing I'm going to give now is the size. The size should be 50. Okay, so it stays consistent or something. Okay, so that's it for the contact information, side section. So the next thing I'm going to do, we'll leave the field set for the contact information. I'll give a break here so it gives spaces. And the next one I'm going to do again is I'll create another field set for the pizza details. Let me create field sets. I'll see, then I'll add a legend again. So field set works with legend. So the next thing I'm going to do is then the class. I'll set the class to set. Let me just name it set or something. Then I'll add the pizza details or something. Pizza detail. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Pizza details. You can see. So this field set section will be to collect the pizza details or something. Then the next thing I'm going to do is let me add a break. Okay, if you get that correctly, cool. Then we are going to use what I call in select and options. It's just for like checkbox or something. Like no checkbox, I mean to say like select. Okay, you see what I mean. Select. Let's say select. The name of the select should be payments or something. Payments, and you'll see what it does. Don't worry. We'll give the ID payment as well. Then inside the select, we have options that the user can pick from. Option is called option elements. Then the value would be what should be inside the values. I'll give this one as pepperoni, and let me add, sorry, Ctrl Z. Okay, pepperoni. Okay, the value is pepperoni, and the text should be pepperoni as well. I don't know if you are seeing what I'm saying, but it's cool like this. So we have not add more options, so I will just keep adding other options. Option, and I'll make the value. This one will be Hawaiian, our Hawaiian pizza or something. Hawaiian. Then I'll make this Hawaiian. Yeah, cool. The next thing I'm going to be doing would be, let's say, vegetarian. Yeah, option. I'll make another option. Sorry, option, and I'll make the value vegetarian, and I'll put the text vegetarian. Okay, I'll save it, and you guys, let's see what happens. You can see you can select Hawaiian, it changes to Hawaiian. You can select vegetarian. So this is what the select an option does. So let's initially keep it as pepperoni or something, since it's the first thing. So that's all you need for your select. So the user can select. No back end yet. So I just showing you guys how to work with the front end and stuff like that. So it does nothing. I think I'm supposed to put this in a div. Yeah, I'm supposed to put in a div. Let me just quickly put this in a div. It's good practice though. So we'll just copy this, Ctrl C, delete it, and put it inside my div container. Okay, I don't know, it makes sense that way. Okay, sorry, let me just tab it in. Okay, cool. So the next thing we're going to be working on is okay, yeah, I made mistake on this. I think we need like a label, so we'll tell the user what he needs to input. So in the div, we'll have a label with a label, and we'll make the for payments, and the label should be, so you tell the user what he needs to input there. So I'll make it pizza type, so he can know what he wants to do. So I'll just add a break so it looks cool. Break tab. Okay, so I think this is more cool that way. Okay, yeah. So the next thing we're going to do outside this, I'll have like still inside the same field set, I'll have like a break outside the div again, because I like adding my breaks to make it look cool. And again, form is an inline element or stuff. So that's it. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is let's create a radio button to collect users input as well. So break, I'll have a div as well. I'll create a div, then I'll name it, I'll give the label, so you say the size that you need. I don't need the 4 this time or something. I don't need the 4, so I'll make this size. Okay, so the user can say the size he needs to buy or something. Then break it a little bit so it can enter a new line. Then input type would be radio. Okay, input type would be radio. I'll just make this radio, and the ID. I don't think if we need ID, but let me just give it an ID. ID would be yeah, I think we need ID though. So ID would be size1, and the name would be weights. This is just anything, just to send the point across or something. Then weights, we'll make this weights. Okay, so we need an input type as well. So let's give a label. Let's give a label down below it. I think label will be cool when it's down this one. So you know what is for an ID. I explained what the for an ID does. So the for should be size1. I'll type it in, then we'll add small. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm doing, so you can it can show you. Okay, if I'm done, you understand what I mean. So I'll just break this a little bit, tab, and I'll copy and paste, and so we edit it. Control C, and I'll just copy and copy. You can see what we need. We need like a, you can see, yeah, that's what the name is for. The name, I named the thing weight, so it can, you can select one. If there is no name, it will be able for it, like you will be able to select all the items. So if I just cancel the name from each item like this, let me say I cancel the name or something, you can see you'll be able to select the name. Like you'll be able to select all the items. See, okay, you can see, and it's not a good practice for radio button, so that's why I kept the name. Okay, so now since the name are the same thing, you can select more than one size. So let's edit it. So we have the small size, we have the medium, and we have the large. Okay, cool. So these are the sizes we have in our pizza website, and we'll just change the ID to size1, size2, and also in the 4 here we'll make it size2. We'll change the ID as well to size3, and in the 4 in our label we'll change it as well to size3. Okay, we don't need this break, so I'll just remove this break. I don't think it's necessary because it does nothing. Okay, so I think that is all we need for our radio. So you can select what you need. This is for our pizza details field set. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is toppings and stuff like that. So after our div, still inside the field set, I'll add a break. Then I'll do another div right here, type it in, and add our thing. So the label, this is the label, so it's just the thing. We don't need this for this main head label or something. Then we'll have top pins right there. So the toppings, what do you need? Extra thing you need for your pizza. So this time we're going to use like which other thing does a form can a form collect? Checkbox, yeah. Checkbox. Let's work with the checkbox. So I'll add break tag and the inputs, read the inputs, then the type should be checkbox. Okay, you can see the checkbox gives like a box or something. Then we'll make the ID should be topping 1 or something. Toppings 1. Okay, and the name should be top, so you can just make it proper selection of stuff. Top should be top. Okay, then then down below it I'll add a label of the 4 should be toppings 1. Okay, good suggestion. And I'll make it pepperoni or stuff. Okay, so you can checkbox. That's what it does. You send the point across. The next thing I'm going to do is BR break to break it out. Then I'll just copy this and edit it. Control C, and let's make, how many toppings should I add for this? Let me just make it 3 so we don't take time in this video. 3. So just change it. This would be pepperoni. Let me just make this mushroom as topping as well. So the next topping should be mushroom. I don't know who like mushrooms, but no offense to people that love mushrooms, but I don't like it. Then olives, I'll make this olives. Okay, and then what else should we be working with? I'll just change the ID so it doesn't cause any. So I'll make this topping 2, make this topping 2, then make this topping 3, and make this topping 3. So that's all for that, nothing else. You can see you can top, top. Cool. So you can add anything. So no backend. We're just styling it. I'll just refresh it so you guys remove all the toppings. Yeah. So I think that's what we need. I'll just add a little bit of then still in, okay, we have okay in case the user wants to give us like an additional instruction. Yeah, cool. That would be cool. Let me add a break here and then another div tab. I told you guys that the HTML will take time for this form because I like making sure that I have everything that the user need in my form. So the next thing I will be doing is a label. The for will be AI. I'll make it AI like additional instruction. Additional instruction will be the for. I don't have another solution in mind and I don't want it to take time. So I'll be naming it additional instruction. Additional instruction or something. Instructions. Yeah, cool. Like this. Like this works though. Then next thing, I'll give BR break. Yeah, because it's an inline element. So I'll make text area. For those of you that don't understand what is text area, text area is like a big box. You can widen it for adding extra input. Okay, so it works. So the text area, you see that the box is a little bit big, and we don't need this ID and name. So what I'm going to do is I'll just do cols. Cols for columns and rows. I'll make it 50, so it increases. You can do rows as well. Let me see what rows does. So I'll make rows 50. You can see you can increase the column and rows as well, but it's not good practice to use rows. I'll just stick with column. Okay, so you can work with columns or rows. So to make it interactive, I'll just name this AI as well, additional instruction. So that's the unit for text area, and that is it for additional instruction in case the user wants to input something or So and that's it. You can just add a break. I don't know, it's not necessary, but let me just add a break. Sorry, not caps. Where's my caps on? PR. It's not necessary, but The next thing, then let's do our last field set before our submit button. I hope this video doesn't take that long though. So I'll just give a break after this our field set for our preset details. I'll create another field set, and I will add a legend to it. The legend would be named, I'll just give it a class as I give others. Class, and I'll name it set as other legends I did as well. So the legends would be delivery option. So how the user wants it to be delivered to him. Delivery options, okay. And then I'll give a little bit of break. And in the div container, I'll add so let's ask for the address. So I'll just ask for the address. So I'll give a label of the label and I'll just name it DA for address, for delivery address. So I'll just add in delivery address. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'll break tab. Then the next thing, text area, we don't need names, we just add columns and stuff. We're going to work with text area because we don't know how long the user address can be. So I'll just make it 50 as well, so we'll stay consistent. The ID will still be the same thing as the 4 in the label, so I'll make it DA. Okay, and that's it. Then we'll break tab. Okay, so the next thing, so that's it for our delivery address. Next, we're going to take, what else can we carry from the user? Time, yeah, time he needs. Yeah, time. Sorry for loading it up. Time, okay, div, we'll give a div as well. Label for, we'll make it DT or something. Then we'll now say, what's your preferred delivery time? Okay, preferred delivery time. Let me scroll this up a little bit. Then what are we going to collect? I'll give a break right here. And the inputs type. Okay, I'm supposed to use like normal type, but this time around I'll just use like time. I don't know if I've seen an input time named time. Like preferred delivery time, I'll use the type name time. Then I'll just put the ID, and I'll just name it the same DT or something. Then you can see the time. It's cool, right? You can choose time. When do I want to order my pizza? Let me say 1 a.m. Who eats pizza by 1 a.m. in the morning? But I don't care. 1:55, 1 a.m. it sets your time. Okay, you can see. Cool, right? So I'll just refresh it. Yeah. So the next thing we're going to be doing is let me just add break. I just like adding break. Okay. So it gives like a little bit of spacing or something. So the next thing we're going to be doing would be, that's it for our last field set, I think. I'll just add a break as well outside the field set. Then the next thing I'm going to be doing is we will collect, like, we'll do the submit button, because after everything, how are we going to send the message? I don't know. So we have to create like a submit button. I'll not make a button, I'll make an input so we can style the div as well. I like creating divs a lot. So div will do input submit type. So we'll do like div tab. Then inside we'll make it an input. The input type would be the, oh, I don't need this inputs. Inputs, okay. And the type should be submit. The class should be, I don't know if you guys are saying this. Wait, class submit as well. Wait, let me see. Okay, yeah, see the button right there down here. So it does nothing initially. Then the value. So what should be in the value? So it's not be just submit. Let's make it as value. The value should be place order. So let's change the value to place order or something. Yeah, you can see it changed to place order. Okay, cool. So we have read, and so that's our HTML for our form page. So let's just add our little bit CSS that we know of. And so I think I told you guys that it won't take time, so I'll just add the CSS to this particular section, to this, like, you know, this particular section, so it doesn't like just a small line of CSS though. So we'll call our order form class our total order form dot order form, this our class for our div, our main div. They just style everything up. So I'll just do dot order form. So I'll add a border, so we'll see what we are styling. Border, I'll make it 1 pixels solid, so you can see. Let me put it red so you guys can see what happens. So this is the whole thing we are styling, this whole div container. So I'll just cancel it. So I just want to show you guys what we are trying to achieve or something. So the next thing we're going to do is I will display flex. So we can move things around. It's not necessary though. Display flex. Then I will justify content and I'll put everything in the center. Cool. Okay, you can see how it goes. So we're now playing around with it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'll flex wrap in case we encounter a smaller screen. I'll make it wrap. Yeah, cool. The next thing I'm going to be doing is let's add our background image to make it more cool. Background image, and have what we're calling URL tab, then images. So let's get our order form. Cool. It covers everything. Oh shoot, it doesn't look cool, but we'll just keep it. I'll style it. Don't worry. Background size, we'll make the background size. Some people, you can see most people using cover or something, so it covers everything. Or okay, wait, what will happen is I will just let me make the, I'll go back to the background image though, then I will go to the form. Let's style the form, so you know, we'll color the form background white so we can differentiate the form from the image or something. Color it white. Okay, cool. Go this way. So if you look at my pizza, I don't know, cover doesn't show my full image. Like it shows the full image, but I don't like how it displays. So I'll just make this like, let me make it 1000 pixels. It's not good practice though, but I think I prefer 1000 pixels. It just like shows a very good way of displaying the image, but good practice using the cover, so you can use the cover, please. I'll just make mine 1000 pixels. So I said it won't take time. There's nothing much we need. I just added extra form. So if you remember, we created a div called in form. Okay, so inside the form we'll add a margin. So it's a margin, a full margin, and it will just be like 10 pixels to give like spaces around, you know. So the next thing I'm going to do, let's just style the field sets and the set, and that's all. Then our field sets, I'll call the field sets element, and I will give a border of, sorry, a border, and I'll make it 1 pixels solid and red. I think it's too red. I'll use RGBA values for the red. RGBA would be I don't know if I still have a red color here. Yeah, this red is cool, right? So I'll make this the opacity 355 or something. I think this is cool. Then the next thing, I don't know if there is a cool font family I can use for the field set. Sorry, border radius, I mean to say. Border radius 3 pixels. So it's curved a little bit. I don't know if you can see the curves. But okay, let me make it 5. 5 is not that cool, but I think it's still cool though. Let's keep it as 5. Then let's style up the sets. Sets. You can see when I was doing the legends and stuff like that. You can see how I did the sets. So the color of the legends should be let me use RGBA values. RGBA. I'll choose one of my red colors. Red. I'll choose this one, tab. You can see the RGBA values have a color, but I need it to be like a little bit darker, so I'll make this 7 or something. Oh, sorry. So I need it to be a little bit darker, so I'll make it 7. Cool. Okay, and I'll make the font family. Let me make it Georgia. Oh, Georgia. Yeah, I like the font family. Okay, you can see how it goes. It changes the font family. The next thing, let's just style the last thing we're going to style, and that will be a wrap for today's video. We're going to style the summit button. Summit, I'll name it. I'll give it a background color of red as well. I don't know. Most pizza websites use red, so I'll just be sticking with red. But I don't like red color that much. So I'll give it an RGBA value. Which of the RGBA value should I give it? Let me use 0.7 tab. Okay, you can see our place order has like a very cool RGBA values and stuff like that. So I won't take time on this. I will just give like a color and white tab. Yeah, so you can see the place order now has a white color or something. And the next thing we're going to be doing is let's style the hover in case it hovers, the user hover around it. I'll just add small thing, nothing else, just transform and I'll scale it up. Transform scale. I'll make it scalable and I'll make it 1.10. Okay. Oh, that's it. That's what we have. So I'll have to let me go to my control. Just save it up. My browser. I don't know if I have it opened in my browser or something. Okay, yeah, okay, so that's our order form page. Hope you guys liked it. I just styled as much as possible as I can, but you can add your own styling and make it more perfect. You can see the scale, hover scale functionality and stuff like that. So that's a wrap for today's video, and if you found this video helpful, don't be afraid to smash that like button, drop a random comment, and subscribe to this channel to learn more on programming stuff, front end, back end, and other stuff like that. Okay, and I hope you guys found it very useful, and you can do anything you want to do with that. You can set up a website. It's just done within, I think, 30 seconds, 30 minutes or something. Set up your order. It takes you to the home page or stuff. Okay,